So why don't you take the moment to explain to our listeners and our viewers, what do you mean by the ABC mind-body system?
So a little background first, and that background is that yes, I am traditionally medically trained. So I get the anatomy, the physiology, the biomechanics, but then I've also got background in yoga, Tai Chi, Pilates, Alexander and Feldenkrais techniques. I'm not sure how familiar everybody is with those.
Okay.
And at some point, I said I need to find a way to take all this knowledge and all these skills that I've been gathering and make them available to the lay public, people who don't necessarily have the same background. I need an ABC system. So the ABCs became alignment because of the importance of posture and how our bodies function, right? And how we look. We look better when our posture is better. So there's your alignment. The B is breathing. And here I focus on what I call conscious breathing and slow, prolonged exhalations, because it's the slow, prolonged exhalations that create relaxation, that help reduce stress. For people with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, the slow, prolonged exhalation helps get rid of some of that stale air, or what we call residual air that sits in the corners of the lungs, so that when a person breathes in again, there's more lung tissue to absorb oxygen. And then the C is centering. What does that mean? Well, I actually give it three meanings, but for our purposes, let's just say it's mind and body working together. And I ask the question, how often does any one of us have a fall, have an injury, make a mistake, because our mind is one place and our body is doing something else? So by taking the time to do your ABCs, align, conscious breathing, center, you can function more safely, more efficiently. And there are actually, so the ABC system,
So,
two other components that are in the book. One is the use of slow motion, because again, that can improve how safely we move, how efficiently. It can help with balance. It can actually help with strengthening. If you go from standing up to sitting down in a chair and you do it in slow motion, you're going to be strengthening those sit and stand muscles, which are so critical for healthy aging, right? I think there's research that shows our ability to sit and stand independently is directly related, or at least partially related, to our ability to sit and stand independently. And the last component of the ABC system is something I call the basic moves, which is really reinforcing correct bending, lifting, carrying, and things like that. So that's the ABC system. And just the last thing to say about it is, in the book and when I do full workshops, I structure the training from the point of view of what is it? Like, what is alignment? Blah, blah, blah. Breathing. What is it? Why is it important? How do you achieve it? So we go into some skill training. And then the centering, there's not that much you can do except take the time to just get focused before you begin an activity.
so what are some of the most common movement patterns or habits that tend to limit older adults, and how can we begin to shift them?